And good afternoon. It's Tuesday, 7 o'clock at night. We're back with one more show of the Neighborhood News. We've been here for the past 4 years, and I would like to mention that we have a brand new show, a Portuguese show here on Channel 95 called Amigos, and you can see us on Wednesday nights, or you can follow us on Facebook. Amigos page.
Did you say Wednesday? Tuesday?
No, Tuesday is the Neighborhood News.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wednesday is the Amigos.
Listen.
I was right. Finally, with Bernadette, I was right. And she was wrong. But we're back, and with me, I have Bernadette, that, as you know, she's here today, okay?
To correct you.
To correct me, she's here. And on my left, I have Dave and Sandy Dennis. I think everybody in Fall River knows the couple.
You sure do. Superstar couple.
Yeah, the superstar couple, and I think it's the first time that I have Dave here after he's now serving as a city councilor. Because the last time
or involved in something.
Or involved in something. But
talking about being a private citizen.
See that? It's a wonderful thing.
And so Dave, I have to. And every time that I have an opportunity, I have to thank David, because he was one of the votes that allow us to buy the DeVol School. And I think the 2 years that you served there, you did so much good for the city. And this is just one of the examples that you vote did for us and for our community, and especially for our neighborhoods. And I would like to tell you that we just got 2 committees approved a couple of weeks ago from the board. We have an advisor committee and we have a financial committee, and they're going to take over the project of the DeVol School.
Oh, good. Good.
For the renovations.
Yeah,
so
well, that could be. I mean, that still could be a very, very good project. You know. But I don't think people realize. I know when I was on the real estate committee, which is what you're talking about, when I was on the council. One of the things we were very conscious about was, especially with the schools, they're nice buildings. Many of them are very historic, but there are a lot of challenges, as I think you found out. You know, there's asbestos, there's heating systems, there's ventilation, there's exits, there's ADA compliance. So there's a whole host of issues that go along with buying those buildings and rehabbing them. It's not as easy as going in and just replacing some windows and throwing some paint on the walls.
Right.
It's a lot more complex, and to your credit, I think you recognize that you need people with certain expertise to be able to help you out with that. The financing, the construction, the construction management, and all that. So good for you. That's good to hear.
We just announced it, and our chairman is Matthew. Is the president from the Fall River Credit Union.
Oh, Matt Shondike.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Good guy.
And I have, we have 9 or 10 members, and they're all involved: banking, insurance, real estate. So they are people. I'm confident that
people from different professions and skills, and that's good.
They've been meeting every 2 weeks, and now with the carnival funds. Completes the fundraiser we need to remove the asbestos. Good. So we probably in 3 or 4 weeks we will be asbestos free, and the board is moving on with the project, which I'm very happy. But we're here today to talk about AHA. And I mean, when we see Sandy, she has all over her face, AHA all over her face. But she has you as a helper. I hope he's a good helper, though.
Oh, yes. I'm his helper in a lot of ways.
And so we're going to talk about projects that you guys have going on in the city, and I very happy to say that we support as much we can AHA. I was very proud last year that we bought the It was an historical event.
It was.
It was an historical
That's right.
event. The boxing into
Yeah.
the battleship.
Yeah.
It was a
Right.
beautiful
cool.
night outside.
It was cool.
It was terrific. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. You guys did a great job with it all.
That wasn't an easy task.
I know,
It
I know.
wasn't.
But all the volunteers, the carpenters, the painters, they went there, they set up the whole stage and the whole thing. And I have to thank you, you and AHA for the opportunity.
You're
And you saw in us, that we could do it, and you trust us with this project. And I think we came through on the other side.
You did. You did. Like I said, that
I
wasn't
don't
an
think
easy
people
task.
realize what a big deal that really was, because that was the first time since the boat had served in World War II that there was actually boxing back on that boat, which was
And on the fantail.
which was a regular event
Oh,
back
wow.
in those days, and on a lot of naval ships. So that was one of their forms of entertainment was the boxing. So it was a big deal. And then they had these fleet competitions and all that. So it was really great, and a lot of people talked about that and said how great it was to have that kind of historically relevant event on the boat again, and it was, of course, it was appropriate given that it was the 50th anniversary of the battleship. So
I don't know what you have in storage this year for the Braga Bridge.
Why don't we challenge you this year? We have the 50th anniversary.
Hey, just so
of the
everybody
Braga
knows,
Bridge.
by the way, it's AHA's anniversary today.
Today,
We're-
yeah.
Oh, really?
Appropriate.
So
Yeah, it's our
we're-
third-year anniversary
Oh, wow.
today, so thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
You can
Very
roll out
nice,
the
huh?
cake.
I know.
The cake.
Where's the cake?
So yeah, this year is the 50th
Cupcake.
anniversary of the Braga Bridge, and we are collaborating with the Herald News for the entire year. So I challenge your neighborhood to come up with an event that you want to do. We don't have a week; we have a whole year that we can do something. And we have some really awesome events. We have the train coming down from Wareham, and it's going to be performances through Mastermind Adventures doing the Eagle Claw Express. And it's a Harry Potter inspired theme
interesting.
rides on the train
Wow.
from the Fall River waterfront down to Freetown. And then we're going to have all Harry Potter inspired events along the waterfront that day. So
Oh, that's neat.
yeah, that's July 12th. So that should be fun, and that should bring a lot of activity to the waterfront that day.
So Cindy, I know you're having a fundraiser going on this week, right?
Yes. Yes. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah. Well, it's the first time that the Block Island Ferry has really used their boat in this area for other than, ferrying back and forth to Block Island. So we talked to them, and on June 24th, which is this Friday, we're going to have a fundraiser on the boat. The Block Island Ferry is going to leave the State Pier at about 6:30, boarding at 6 o'clock. It's $75 a person, but remember that just the ferry ride alone to Block Island is $60. So it's $75, and that includes obviously the boat ride. It includes food, which is going to be catered by the Venus de Milo. And we have music. We have a Caribbean steel band on the first floor, and then we have, everybody knows Louis Lehman, so Louis Lehman will be on the second floor, and the third deck will be an observation deck to go up there and just hang out if you want. And it's going to leave State Pier at 6:30. It'll go up Mount Hope Bay, up to Prudence Island. It'll circle around the area, and then head back just in time for a Mount Hope Bay sunset, which if you ever seen, I mean, they're spectacular. In fact, Sandra and I were down in Key West. We went to, if you're familiar with it, Mallory Point down there, where they have the sunsets every night. And we were down there, and when we were there, we said, geez, we came back. We said, my God, this sunset here is almost as nice as Mallory Square in Key West. It really is beautiful. So it's supposed to be a nice night. It hasn't been done in a long time, so we're excited about it. We've got a lot of interest. $75 a person, and again, includes food, music, and the boat ride. It'll be about a 3-hour boat ride.
Nice.
It's going to be nice, and it's going to go slow. It's not going to be a fast ride. A nice, steady trip up to Prudence Island and back.
Nice.
So
very
we
nice.
encourage people to call. If they want to know, they can go aha.com on events, and they can get tickets there. They can call us at 508-673-2939, and we'll be, or they can, we prefer, buy your tickets ahead of time, but we'll probably still have a few tickets left on Friday night if you want to just show up at the dock.
Yeah, so what happens is as soon as we get, probably by tomorrow night, we will have this show online.
Oh, good.
So between YouTube or Facebook, so we can link you, and then people can actually
good.
watch it, you know, when they have an opportunity. And the good thing about is they can get the numbers just pausing the video. That's how
Yes.
I was told. Oh, no problem. They mentioned one time, but I post the video and I take the number.
Nice, nice. Yeah, they can buy tickets at the Herald News too.
Oh, the Herald News,
Yeah.
that's right too, yeah.
Okay.
And during
Because
regular
we're-
business hours, just go to the Herald News, they have tickets available there too, so if you're downtown area, yeah, that's another
I heard
another option for
Sandy
you.
mention, I believe on the radio this week, that Herald News is your
They're a
sponsor
year-long,
this
yep,
year.
they're a year-long sponsor with AHA. So is for Fred TV. So
Okay.
we've collaborating with them and working with them, and then WSAR. They're doing sponsorships with us as well now. So we have the whole media outlet behind us and supporting us.
That's
so
good.
we're thrilled
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
important.
Absolutely.
That's important.
And yeah, and everything that we do, you'll see on all of our posters and stuff, it'll always say, you know, part of the 50th anniversary of the Braga Bridge.
Nice.
So you'll see a lot of different events, you know. The reason we're doing the Block Island Ferry is because it was water transportation before the bridge. The train was train transportation. So we're trying to be a little creative on the events that we do associated with the bridge. This past weekend we had the rowing competition, which rowed right near the bridge.
I saw
yeah,
some
that
pictures.
was an amazing,
Looked
yeah.
really nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was an
nice.
I haven't
amazing.
heard of any of this. Do you post that on Facebook?
It's on, we
Yeah.
posted on Facebook, the AHA in Fall River Facebook page, and then it's on our calendar. So if you go to ahafallriver.com, our calendar has tons of events. We had your carnival up on our calendar. We posted that up there so people would know that, you know, this week, and if they wanted to go to a carnival, they could
Right.
go.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of the details that you had given me. So we put
Yeah.
that in the description area so people will know. But yeah, so if you go AHA in Fall River, we've just started to do constant contacts. So we
Okay.
do a lot of email blasts. So if we
Yeah.
have someone's email address, they'll get our information as well now.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're excited about that.
And I think if people go up and take a look at the calendar, what they'll realize is, because we don't just post our events, it's
No.
anybody who wants to post their event that they call us if we see it in the paper. The What's Happening section,
Yes.
Sandy usually tries to go through there. But there's a lot of stuff going on in Fall River.
Oh my
So the
God.
fact that people come out and say, I don't know what to do, there's nothing going on in the city, go take a look at a calendar.
Right.
Go take
Yes.
a look at the AHA calendar, go up on the website and take a look at it, and you'll find that there's plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a bunch of stuff going on this weekend.
This
Oh
weekend,
my God,
at
yes.
least 3 or 4.
Oh.
But you got to
Same
make
time.
the effort to go and look and find it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So-
a lot of it, a lot of what we
And
do
a lot
is
of it's
free.
like children, you know, family. A lot of it's family
friendly, yeah.
friendly. There are some fees for things, but there's a lot of things. The library runs a whole bunch of things.
Oh,
in
they do
Fall
some
River.
great, all their programs are on our calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some great programs this summer, and they're all on our calendar. So we tell people, go to the AHA calendar, it's under the events tab, and you'll see, and it's on our homepage, it'll scroll currently what's happening.
Right.
It populates on that page as well. So, and like Dave said, we'll post anyone's event on there because our
Well, we like to
part
make
of
it a
our
community
mission,
resource. Which,
Right.
You know, we're trying to make
Right.
it a community resource. As you know, it's one of the things that's been absent in the city. I talked about that when I was on the city council about, you know, trying to get a website because we had the city one, but nobody ever maintained it, and there was not much stuff up there. So we've done it, and I think it's been successful.
Yeah, a lot of people go up on the calendar. It's a resource.
Sandy, talk to us about events for this year for
my
the
gosh.
celebration of the Braga Bridge.
Okay.
What do you have planning?
We did the rowing, so that took place on the waterfront, and it's probably an event you will never see on the Fall River waterfront again because of the water conditions. The rowing club is across from Whites of Westport. It's the Watuppa Rowing Club. They're brand new. They just came last year, and that was one event. The Block Island Ferry, which is our major fundraiser this year, which is why we're asking people to please support us because it's our main fundraiser and it's going to help us match some of the grants that we got because the grants that we apply for and get, many of them we have to find a match, dollar for dollar match for it.
Wow.
So if we don't get a match, we either have to give the money back
Right.
or we definitely won't get another grant in the
Right.
future. So Mass Cultural Council gave us a grant this past year and this year coming up, but we have to match that. And it's,
So that's
it's
why
a good amount
that's
of
why
money.
some people have said to us, "Oh well, you know, AHA is starting to charge for events. We're not really charging for events.
This is a
AHA nights are
fundraiser.
all free. Our programming is all free. However, you know, we still have to operate AHA, so we have to get
Right.
funding from somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
So, and when we do that, we have fundraisers, and of course we have to charge for those.
Right.
But the money goes back into the free program,
Yes.
and that's how we support the free program. It's like you see a lot of the radio stations and TV stations, they have their, you know, telethons and all that stuff to raise money for, you know, free TV and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing we do.
And we go through the same thing too, because
Yes.
we
Right.
want to do events, and we want to do events free. The events free happens if we get
That's right.
sponsors.
Exactly.
So we get the money to
That's
be
right.
able to give the stuff for free. If we don't get the sponsors,
You don't
we
do the
we
event.
want to make the events,
That's
but
right.
you know
Yeah.
the bills need to be paid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
And they're all-
that's why sometimes it's tough to.
It is.
Because people expect everything
For free.
for free all the time.
If it's for
know.
free, it's for me. But nothing, there is no free lunch.
There-
I thought
yeah,
you stole
right.
that from me.
I did steal it from you. I did because I liked it.
But then we have our July 12th, which is the excursion train ride, which is the Harry Potter and themed inspired ride. And adults, we worked out a really good deal with them because it's their elite train, so it has an upper deck and a lower deck. So the upper deck is very expensive if you go on it routinely, but they are doing general admission and seating, so it's $15 for adults and $12 for children. But they're going to get an entire. Not only are they going to get the train ride, but they're going to get an entire performance. They're going to get Harry Potter snacked when they leave. Plus, they're going to get all the free events that are on land that day.
Wow.
So they're going to get a lot for their money with that train ride, and
So
they can
when's
get
that?
that
When?
July 12th. And
12th.
it's an 11 o'clock run and a 1 o'clock
And it's
run.
for all ages.
All ages.
We have adults that are interested
Yes.
in going. Just the whole Harry Potter thing. So.
So that one that's coming soon, and we'll have posters going up for that. And then we have our regular July AHA night, which is July 21st, and the theme is fun and games. So we're hoping to have some really interesting games there that night. We're trying to do life-size board games. We'd love to get one of the organizations in the city to do Fall River Opoly and then facilitate that. We're working with we're working with the Herald News to do their word search and their crossword puzzle, and it'll all be geared towards the Braga Bridge questions and things like that. I'd love to. We're in the process of trying to get a little mini golf that can come. We've already got some programmers, but it should be a fun night with fun and games. So we usually have about anywhere between 20 to 30 different things on an AHA night. So July could be bigger than 30.
Where's the place?
It's downtown Fall River and
It's
up around
downtown.
Purchase Street, and then we typically get the trolleys and the handicap van. And then for July, Heritage State Park has a free movie that night. I believe it's a Disney Cinderella. So we're going to have the trolley going down there, so that if people want to go to the 7 o'clock movie with the family, they can go down there, and that's free too.
Right.
So everything during AHA night is free. There'll be musicians in the restaurants and local artists in restaurants and throughout the downtown and the Purchase Street area. We may consider closing a couple of streets for the July AHA, but we'll think about that one. It's a lot more work and time that goes into that, you know.
Right.
So time constraints. Then, of course, we have a special that we really, really would like people to get out to, special performance that we received the Fall River Cultural Council grant, and that's going to be July 23rd, and it's going to be at Heritage State Park. And Melissa Costa Doyle is actually directing it, and it's going to be performed by the youth of our city, and the title is Speaking Our Language. And basically it's going to be how the teens have used art to cope with things going on in the community and in their lives. So it should be it should be kind of a happy performance, a sad performance, lots of emotions that run through that performance. So we're encouraging the community to really support not only AHA, but to support the actors and actresses that are going, because they're going to be all local kids from Fall River. And some of the issues that we've all dealt with, but how they've dealt with is through art.
Right.
So that should be really good.
It's been done in other communities, and
Yeah.
I guess it's been very successful. It's been very moving. So
There's going to be a couple of funny skits in it too, not just sad.
they've promised to lighten some of it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've asked.
Yeah, really? You don't want to bring a box of tissues.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's a couple of funny issues that I think they're going to tackle that I'm
Good.
looking forward to. And then, of course, we have Free Fun Friday, which is July 29th, that we always collaborate with the Battleship on. I don't know if you want to talk about that when you know more of the details on Free Fun Friday.
Well, that's something that started back when I was on the city council. We found out about Free Fun Friday. For those who don't know, that is run by the Highland Foundation up on Newton Wellesley, and basically what they do is they hook up with a lot of these venues around the Commonwealth, places like the Battleship, a lot of the museums, and basically you can go in there for free. And so this is like the fourth year, I think it's.
Fourth year, yes.
That the Battleship has participated. And we get anywhere, the first year we had about 3,000 people. Last year we had over 7,000 people that show up.
Yeah.
And everybody comes down to the waterfront, and what happened was we started participating because I was chair of economic development and tourism. So we saw a tourism opportunity, so we popped up a tent and we started handing out brochures, and then it's morphed into handing out books and all sorts of stuff. And then we invite some of the AHA programmers now to come down, stay for a few hours during the day, so that there's ongoing program on land. So it's not, so when people go to the ship, they have not only the opportunity to go see the Battleship, but they have stuff going on land.
Right.
So we have little shows going on, different things going on. And it just makes the experience a lot more fun, and it gets to showcase some of the stuff that's going on in the city of Fall River.
And I think the Marine Museum is part of it.
Marine Museum's, Marine Museum's been part of it. They were part of it last year, and they'll be open again this year, so people can go to Marine Museum, Battleship. There'll be things going on, in and around the outside of the Battleship. So there'll be plenty to do.
Nice.
There's plenty to do. Yep. And we encourage people to contact us if they have something that they'd like to, have some type of program that they'd like to offer. Because we're,
And Sandy, it's right at City Hall in the mornings, right?
Yeah, but that's not for AHA.
Oh, that's
So I don't
not
do,
AHA.
I don't do AHA work in the morning, no. That's for the community
okay.
preservation. So I don't do
okay,
AHA work in the
okay.
morning.
Well, but if they need you, they know
They
that
know
you're
where I
there.
am. I'm
They will
there
fund you.
9 to 11
They
anyway,
will
at least
fund
every
you.
day. They'll find me. I'm easy to find.
I know AHA was something that's been happening in New Bedford, and you try to bring some of the events here to Fall River. So they have 4 events a year?
No, they have 12.
They
They
have-
do them every month in New Bedford. We do ours every season.
Exactly.
They've
So-
been, 18 years they've been
yeah,
doing
this
it
is
there?
their 18th year. What's a little different about it, because they've been around 18 years, they really have someone, they have a staff. They have a full-time staff person that's all she does. I don't know if she's the director or whatever she is, but that's all she does. It's really just voluntary in the city of Fall River.
Oh, yeah.
And so we are obligated, because they have allowed us to use their branding and their name and all this other stuff, which has been a tremendous advantage to us. By doing that, we had to obligate ourselves to do a certain number of AHAs every year. So because we do it voluntarily and we don't have the resources, we haven't been around as long, although we're doing quite well, we do 4 a year. But we also do a lot of fill-in and special events that are not AHA nights, but they are AHA sponsored. And the rowing and a lot of other things that we've done. And we've
The speaking our language.
and so we have
the
a lot of
South Coast exhibit,
South
that's in
Coast
August.
exhibit,
That's a couple of
the train, a lot of these things, these fundraising events. So we actually do a heck of a lot more than just the 4 events every year. So we're like them, but we're different. We're complementary programs. They have their AHA, we have ours. We have ours on a different Thursday night, so we don't compete. So I like to say we're complementary, and for us, we sort of have a local focus and sort of a regional strategy that we work with them on in the community foundation. And in fact, New Bedford is considered probably the most successful arts and cultural program in terms of the economic benefit that it's provided to the downtown in New Bedford, in the Commonwealth. So it's the model's been very successful. We've been able to duplicate it here. We're only 2 years old. They're 18 years old.
I know.
But I think we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, we have.
In
some events been more popular than others.
And they will be.
Yes. Of
Like,
course.
they have certain events that in New Bedford that, draw up 4,000 or 5,000 people. Other events will draw, maybe 1,000 people. So, and it's worked out pretty much the same way
With
for
us.
us. But every, and as time goes by, we will have sort of some signature events that happen every year that will draw more people than others. And of course, the idea is, you try to change it every year, so it's not always
Right.
the same kind of events.
You don't want
But there are
people to get
certain events that,
bored with
that New
Exactly.
Bedford has every year that are just very, I think Kids Rule is one of them.
That's
I think
very
they do the
successful.
50s night that's very popular. So, again, they have their signature events too that they'll keep.
Yeah, and one thing that we all suffer is the weather. Because if the weather, if we do a summer events on outside, they don't show up because it's too hot.
I know.
Then we do it on the winter time. We do them inside. They don't
cold.
come because it's too cold out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think we all have the same.
We're in a rain cycle. When you say aha, the weather says rain.
We had our December, our
Oh my
December
God,
AHA
yes.
was just a
A washout. But we had a lot of people.
It just poured, and we still had a fairly decent crowd considering. And it wasn't just raining; it was just pouring.
Pouring.
And it poured from it started raining at 6 o'clock and ended at about 7 o'clock. Exactly the time that we
That we
have.
had
Right, the time of the
AHA.
event.
It was scary. And it poured. People come in, they were
It's
soaking
like
wet in
this cloud
umbrellas
follows
and
us.
stuff.
The aha cloud.
AHA cloud.
The last one that you guys had at the City Hall was pretty good. I saw a good crowd
Yeah,
there, so
yeah.
I had a chance to stop by. But anyway, I think we are getting into the end of the show. Half an hour goes so fast,
It
and
does.
when we have so many stuff to talk about. But I don't want to let you guys go without thanking Sandy for all the work that she puts together
Thank you.
for our city. And for Dave, for even if he's not a city council, he's still there. He's still there trying to push it. So
Like I say, good things happen in Fall River.
Absolutely.
They are.
Absolutely.
And one of those things is AHA, so go to ahafallriver.com and take a look at the website and look at our calendar. There's lots of good stuff up there for people to do in the city of Fall River.
Very good. Thank you guys for coming.
Well, we appreciate it.
I see you next week.
Got it, buddy.
See you next week. Thank you.